What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel for the Sunday Social Week 11 edition. I am your host, Dylan Clemons. Here with me to kick off the show is Matt Crubel from the Parlay FF crew. Matt, how you doing this morning, man, with a 6-6 tie in Washington Commanders against the Dolphins over in Madrid?
I'm doing well. These morning games always kind of get me a little bit. I actually kind of forgot that there was one this week.
Sure.
And but yeah, no, it's good. It's good in the betting world right now. So we're still cruising.
I love it. Before we jump into Matt's betting card for the week, I just want to remind everyone, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And head on over to fantasy6pack.net/plans, become an all-access member. That's where you get access to our award-winning rankings and our Discord, where you can ask anybody on the F6P staff about anything you need. Good to see Albert here this morning. Good morning to you, my friend. Good morning, Jamie. And then for the rest of this show, guys, we got Matt with his betting card, obviously. Then a little bit of a change in programming. No Joe Bond this week. His daughter made it into Sunday soccer game, so they're playing. So Joe can't join us today. So good luck to them. But Keith Flemming's jumping in for and to give you his DFS plays in Joe's segment at 10:45 Eastern. Then we're going to jump into our start sit questions that we do every week with myself, Ike Bonni, Keith Flemming, and then Mike LaPlant's making another appearance this week with Kyle not here. Matt, Kyle's actually at the Grey Cup game in Canada today. He's going.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet when he messaged me that. I'm like, nice, dude.
That is cool.
Have fun. Yeah, no doubt. But all right, Matt, let's go ahead. Let's jump into your card. What do you got going on? And I don't have much, to be honest with you, this week. I got one game that I'm all in on, so I want you to steer me, hopefully, in the right direction here this week.
Well, let's start off with a couple noon games that I do like. I'm looking at the Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, playing in Atlanta. It's always a good bet to take Atlanta when they're playing at home, especially in a matchup like this. It's -3.5. That connection that Penix has with Drake London and Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier getting involved, it's a pretty good bet at home. I'm surprised this number's not a little bit bigger than it is. I'm very comfortable with the 3.5. I think Atlanta's doing enough. Now, I know Carolina has been playing some pretty good ball. Looks like they're starting to kind of figure some things out. Their defense is playing okay. But Atlanta is a team that I think can win this game not necessarily pretty handily, but by more than 3.5. So I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons at home here in the Dome.
I like it, man. And the Falcons have a sour taste in their mouths after what Carolina did to them in the first matchup. Carolina's also a much better team at home than they are on the road. So I have no problem with laying 3.5 with the Falcons, even though they're a little bit sketchy, man. They're a little bit hit and miss, but they have to win this game if they want any chance of their playoff hopes hanging around as well, because they've fallen behind the 8 ball here, so to speak. So they need to get back on track, and this would be a good start for them. And like I said, no problem hanging the 3.5 there, man. I like it. So what do you got here for your next one?
I'm looking at the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. This game to me seems like another one that the Chargers really need to win to continue their pace. I think, we've seen historically in the past, the Chargers always start fairly decent, and then they kind of tail off towards the end of the season. Now, I know that they've been having a lot of offensive line issues, but Justin Herbert is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL for fantasy purposes this year. That guy can get it done through the air. He can get it done on the ground. I know they're still without Amari and Hampton, but Kamani Vidal is a good little piece for them to substitute in there. The full complement of wide receiver weapons that they have. I know Quentin Johnston was questionable going in today, but it looks like he is going to play with his shin. So having that full complement, and I know the Jacksonville Jaguars have a good defense. They're at least a very serviceable defense. I would say above average. But this feels like a game to me that, the Chargers need to win to keep pace with the Denver Broncos, which is very odd to say in that division. But I just think that the Chargers have enough talent now. Can Harbaugh keep them in the momentum? Can they keep Herbert going. And that's what I want to see. So I am going to take the Chargers -3 in this matchup. The Jaguars don't have BTJ today. I think he is not going to play. You have Etienne, who I think is a good running back, and I think Etienne will be one of the centerpieces for today. But I just don't know that they're going to be able to get it done because the Chargers defense is pretty good. So I'm going to take the Chargers -3 in this matchup.
All right. I like that, man. And it also comes down to the fact you can't trust the Jaguars. You can't trust Trevor Lawrence either,
No.
man. I don't know if you want to have an uncomfortable conversation here. Where would you rank Trevor Lawrence in quarterbacks in the NFL right now? Is he even in the top half?
I don't think I would put him in the top half. No, he just hasn't been consistent enough. We haven't seen it from him.
I know, man. And he came out of Clemson, generational talent, supposed to be the absolute lock, supposed to turn around any franchise. He won a playoff game in that awesome comeback against the Chargers. But ever since then, you're just left with constant disappointment, I feel like, from him.
Yeah.
And he's a guy, I wanted him to work, man.
I did too.
So far, it just hasn't happened. And I feel like he kind of slides under the radar a little bit. Like he doesn't catch a lot of grief. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree 100% with you. I rooted for Trevor Lawrence. I wanted him to work out. To me, it just seems like there is something there that just has clicked for him. Like I think if something could click, I don't know what it is, but it just looks like, there's, I don't know. I can't really describe it when he plays out there. Some days he looks awesome. And then there's some days where I'm just like, what are you doing?
Like, what are you seeing? Where are you placing the ball right now? It's just all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
Maybe Urban Meyer hurt his progression in his rookie year, maybe a little bit. Maybe that was a disaster. So maybe that could have something to do with it. But yeah, the excuses are running out for Trevor Lawrence. And, they already signed him to an extension too, man. So It's kind of the same scenario in Arizona with Kyler Murray too, who's kind of been soft benched for Jacoby Brissett. I don't know. The quarterback play, oh man, it's in an interesting spot across the NFL outside of some stars. So it's interesting. But all right, back on track, Matt. What do you got here for your next one?
Okay, I'm gonna scroll down to the afternoon games. It's the Chiefs versus the Broncos. I know they're playing.
One game I was in on.
Okay, yeah. So this game here is a game that I would much prefer to live bet. I think there's going to be a lot of fireworks in this game. I think you could get a lot of good numbers from both sides of the ball during the game live. But looking at it just from a standpoint of before the game starts, it's crazy to me that the Chiefs are 4.5 point favorites going into Denver. Denver is number 1 in the division. They're tied for number 1 in the AFC right now. It's like the 1 seed. But we have seen that their schedule, their games have been kind of skewed. They've barely beat teams they should have blown out. Bo Nix just has not looked great. No J.K. Dobbins, RJ Harvey's here. This is a game that I truly believe the Chiefs have to win or they're not making playoffs. I really do believe that if they don't win this game, they will not make the playoffs. So I'm going to hesitantly take the Chiefs at -4.5. It is a little questionable. The Broncos have a very good defense, probably one of the top defenses in the league. The Chiefs haven't been playing like stellar great offense. Rashee Rice being back is a big boost for them. And it would be 100% flip the other direction if Rashee Rice was not in this game, which I think that's the only reason why they're favored. But yeah, if I'm looking at it from the standpoint, this is one of those desperation wins the Chiefs have to even remotely still have a glimmer of a chance to be in the playoffs. I think it's more likely that they make, unless there's just been unless something crazy happens, that they're going to be like a wild card, which is still crazy to think about. Right. So I am going to take the Chiefs at -4.5 hesitantly, but I much prefer to live bet this game.
All right. That's where I'm at too, man. I'm on the Chiefs 4.5, and you alluded to it, man. They can't lose this game. They cannot lose this game, and the Broncos, you haven't really been able to trust Bo Nix outside of his miraculous fourth quarter comeback. So, yes, I'm here on the Chiefs as well. I had something else too. I don't remember, but yeah, I don't see them. Patrick Surtain. You talked about the Broncos defense. Their best player, Surtain's not suiting up today too.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
The Chiefs on the offensive side of the ball as well there. So yeah, I have no problem locking that in. Matt, I do got one for you, and talk me away from it or talk me into it. The Bears at plus 130 on the money line. I'm a Bears fan, obviously, so I might have a little bit of homerism, but the Bears had the Vikings beat in week 1 until they kind of let the Vikings back in the game. JJ McCarthy had his good fourth quarter. They scored, I think, 14 or 17 unanswered. It's in Minnesota. This game is. What are your thoughts on this Bears Vikings divisional matchup today?
Looking at this game, this is a game that I did kind of look hard at, every single week I do pick some picks that could be spoilers. They could be upsets. This specific matchup here, Brian Flores, their defense hasn't been playing up to the standard that we all remember it from the beginning of the season. The Bears offense is kind of hit and miss in my opinion, right? So the Swift, obviously he's been doing great things. Kyle Monangai, great rookie running back who looks extremely serviceable, extremely good. Caleb Williams is one of those guys, I'm not putting him in the Trevor Lawrence category, but he's got great games, and then he's got games where I'm just like, bro, throw the ball. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. But he does scramble. He does use his feet a little bit more. So, and then the weapons, Rome Odunze pops off first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, then kind of disappears for a couple games. Then, he got a little bit more involved last week. DJ Moore, what is going on with DJ Moore? It's one of those teams where I have question marks. I think they are on the right track. I like Ben Johnson. I think he's an excellent coach, great mastermind when it comes to the offense. Can I see this happening? Sure. I don't foresee it happening though. Like I'm going to be on the Minnesota Vikings in this matchup at home. Okay. I think their defense finds a little something. And I think personally, Dylan, sorry about your Bears. I think the number's too low. Like, I think the -3 for the Vikings is too low of a number, in my opinion. I think the Vikings will find a way to get it done pretty easily today.
Okay. Yeah. And the Vikings do have a true home field advantage. That place is loud. It's going to be today. And I don't want to sound like a homer either, because I kind of picked on Bo Nix about not being able to trust him until his heroics in the fourth quarter. Matt, it's kind of been the same thing from Caleb Williams too. During this 4 out of 5 game win streak, I think they have. It's just he finds a way to win at the end of games, and I think it's because he falls into his comfort zone of hero ball. Yeah. When more so when he has to play and structure the offense tends to struggle a little bit, man. But It is, as a Bears fan, it is fun watching him play in hero mode. But the first 3 quarters of the game, man, it's frustrating. And I'm pulling my hair out most of the time.
Yeah, hey, Dylan, I will say though, I have caught myself rooting for the Bears. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, but I have caught myself rooting for the Bears. I think they're on the right track. I would like to see Caleb Williams get a little bit better in the pocket and make some smarter decisions, but I think they're on the right track. I think their team is it's trending the right direction. Let's put it that way. Versus the Jaguars trending the opposite direction. That place is a hot mess.
No doubt. And then we got some commentary.
Yeah, Dave. Vikings 500.
Bears D gonna pick apart 9. That was interesting with JJ McCarthy coming out saying that.
Hey now, yeah, Jay. Yeah, I don't know. This game is just it's one of those games where I'm like, I'm just gonna take the favorite and
sure.
And walk away.
I don't blame you. I got a buddy Brandon here too, Bears fan here. Matt, 3 too little, and then he's just joking around with you, man. I love that. Good stuff, Brandon. Good to see you popping in with questions too. We'll get to them shortly here, my friend. But Matt, before we get you out of here, go ahead and plug what you got going on, and that was awesome information. And like I said, I'm tailing you today, so let's go with Matt.
Let's get it.
Matt's bets.
There you go. Yeah, if you guys want to check us out, we stream live here on Fantasy Six Pack's YouTube channel every Tuesday evening where we do our betting segment, and you can find that on Fantasy Six Pack's YouTube channel. Go to fantasysixpack.net, become an all-access member. And if you guys just want to listen to the audio side, it's the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. You can find that on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Subscribe. It helps out the show. Hey, Dylan, before I do get out of here, though, last second bet, anytime touchdowns for Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, and DK Metcalf today. You can parlay them all together. It's like plus 500 or something. And nice. Or you can play them single. I like those guys as anytime touchdowns today.
Perfect. I love it, man. I'm also interested on Jaylen Warren anytime touchdown, but it's like minus 170. Like yeah. Vegas already knows it's happening. So, all right, man. Great stuff as always. And I can't wait to talk to you again next week, my guy.
Good luck, guys. See you later.
Take care. All right, everybody. Like I said, some change of programming. No Joe Bond this week. So Mr. Keith Flemming's going to slide right into Joe's segment, and he's going to talk some DFS stuff. Keith, my friend, how you doing, man? And I heard you were in one of my favorite places in the world, Las Vegas, this past week. How you doing? How was your time, man?
Had a great time filling it a little bit. Not going to lie. I bet. But no, we had a great time. We go out every year to play in the Guide Dogs tournament, which, that's obviously the dogs that help people with disabilities, whether they be blind. Some people have like strokes and can actually kind of catch that before. It's a great cause and something we really enjoy doing. Obviously, also enjoy going out there and gambling. So
no doubt,
that's a benefit too, being in Georgia, which will be one of the last states, I'm sure, to legalize it. But we had a great time, but happy to be home. There's no place like home.
No doubt, man. Yeah, I hear that as a homebody. Dave
right behind Dave Eddy.
Love it, man. But Keith, let's go ahead, jump into your DFS stuff. What do you got going on this week? When I went and looked at the stuff, and it was hard for me this week, and I'm not. You guys are more into DFS. You and Dave are way more into it. I tried to build a lineup this week, and I struggled. I really did, Keith. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
It is I think a tough week, but I think that especially for cash, there's some value. If at the QB position, if you want to spend up, I really like Herbert. I know he only scored 14.7 points last week. I know they're having the issues. Obviously, with now both offensive tackles out, but he's still averaging almost 24 points per game over his last 4. And what I really like is he's rushed for 50-plus yards in 3 of his last 6. And let's be honest, the Jags' pass defense is awful. It's really bad. And they're not terrible against the run. So I don't think the Chargers are going to be able to just run it with Vidal this week. I think it's going to be a lot of quick passes. You can stack Herbert, with a bunch of different people, but I particularly like Ladd, the tight end Gadsden, I think are both good plays. But the 2 QBs I'm playing the most this week, one is Joe Flacco, who, man, if you'd have told me 3 years ago, I would still be playing Joe Flacco in DFS, I would have been like, what are you smoking? But he's averaging 30 points per game over his last 3 starts, 9 passing touchdowns. And don't forget, in his first matchup with Pittsburgh, week 7, he threw for 340 and 3 passing touchdowns, scoring 29 points on DK. The Steelers have nobody that can stop Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And Flacco is at a price that you can easily stack him with Chase or Higgins. I feel like if you're going to play Flacco, you have to go with Chase. The volume is just so much different. I know Higgins has been really efficient for the amount of targets that he's getting, but I mean, like Chase had 20-something targets versus the Steelers the first time they played. So I think if the Steelers score points, which the Bengals defense is awful, they should, that is going to mean that this is going to be another shootout, another, deal where he's throwing it a lot. But see, there you go, Dave Eddy. But the guy that I'm probably playing the most this week, and it's just, again, it's about value, is Jacoby Brissett, 4,900 for Arizona. Again, like, it's not pretty. Jackson Dart had been the quarterback I had started, I think, 4 straight weeks, and like 100% of my cash game lineups, because similar to what I'm saying about Brissett today, he always hits his number and actually exceeds it. And Jacoby's kind of in the same deal where Still in the 4K range. He's scoring 21.8 points or more in all 4 starts on DK this year, 22.9 points per game as a starter. One of the first things that Dave Eddy taught me about cash is you always want somebody that their floor is 3X. That's not even 15 points at his price, and he's averaging almost 23 per game. It's not an anomaly. It's, a 4-game sample size, so this is real. And he's thrown for at least 258 passing yards in each game. He's thrown at least 2 passing touchdowns in each game that he started this year. And then he's also averaging over 3 points per game just to say runner. So you do get that, extra 4 points. And then the added benefit that I think San Francisco with Purdy back, I think their offense is going to be good today. I would love for it to go exactly like how it did last week, where Seattle jumps all over Arizona, and then you're just in basically garbage time mode from that point on. And they don't really have any other options with Kyler Murray on IR. So this is Jacoby Brissett's squad. Marvin Harrison's out, which is a little concerning, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. As long as he has Trey McBride, who he understands the assignment of just throwing it to him. And that is a stack that, is going to cost you like 11,100. And McBride has been a top 5 wide receiver in the month that Brissett's been the starter. So the backs this week, Josh Jacobs to me is the best value. I do like playing CMC if you can find the cash, but I just think Jacobs is a great value on DK at 7,800. He has a rushing touchdown in 6 straight, 9 rushing touchdowns in that span. There's been 2 games this season where he scored 30-plus points on DraftKings. One came against the Bengals, who allow 166 rushing yards at 5.4 yards per carry. The other was the Cowboys, who allow 143 yards per game at 4.8 yards per carry. This week, he faces a Giants run defense that's allowing 152 yards per game at 5.5 yards per carry, and their 14 rushing touchdowns is tied for the most in the NFL with the Titans. So that is a pattern, in my opinion. And we know Green Bay is not afraid to just give the ball to Jacobs. I think you're going to see a lot of that. They're actually calling for some, high winds and stuff as well. Going to be kind of a nasty game. I hate to do this, but Rico Dowdle versus my Falcons, our defense is just awful versus the run. They've allowed in just their last 4 games to opposing running backs 544 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. And then in games, Dowdle has accounted for 80+% of the Panthers' rush attempts, which including the last 2 with Chuba Hubbard also suiting up. He's averaging 29.6 points per game. You can't beat that. But there's 2 really good cheap options this week. The first one, Woody Marks, 5,400. Titans allow 6th most rushing yards in the NFL, 140 yards per game. And again, I said they're tied with the Giants for the most rushing touchdowns allowed. He scored 29.4 points on DraftKings versus Tennessee in his first matchup. That was the most this season. And his snap share last week was the highest by any Texans running back in just 1 game this season. Coach Ryan came out and said that they need to get him the ball more, which that's always a good thing. Yeah. And the reason he's saying that is because in games Mark sees 11+ rush attempts, he's averaging over 100 total yards per game, scored a touchdown per game, and just under 20 points per game. And this is a game that they should control again because the Titans are just awful. And then the last guy, Amari DiMercato, probably butchered that. Apologies to him. But in just the last 2 games, he's turned 22 touches into 182 yards of total offense, averaging 7.9 yards per carry. And this is a Niners defense that's allowing to number 1 running backs at least 84 total yards and 15+ fantasy points in 6 of their last 7. Again, this is kind of the Fred Warren effect, if you will, right? Seems like since Fred Warren has gone out, they can't cover tight ends and running backs the way they used to. And they've also really struggled versus the run. Wide receiver, again, Jamar Chase. I feel like if you play Flacco, you have to. His last 5 games, 72 targets, 50 receptions, has had at least 91 receiving yards in all 5 of them, 4 touchdowns, and averaging 27.8 points per game on DraftKings. So even at his outrageous 8,500 salary, if we're going again by that 3X number, he's hitting it, consistently over the last month. And when he played Pittsburgh the first time I talked about this, 21 targets, 16 receptions, 161 yards, and a touchdown. He scored 41.1 points on DK. No surprise, making him wide receiver 1 for the week. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about, but Drake London should be considered 7,400. I know that he's kind of battling an illness. There's been some issues. Carolina's pretty good versus the pass, but it's just volume, right? Volume is king. London's averaging 10 targets per, has 39 receptions, and gone over 100 receiving yards in 4 of his last 5 since week 4. He averages 28.24 points on DraftKings during that span. And he has finished at wide receiver 5 or better 4 of the last 5 weeks, including 3 weeks being wide receiver number 1. I would say that's pretty good. Again, T. Higgins, if you want to spin down, I think he also should be considered, like even with Chase seeing 20 targets in the first game versus Pittsburgh, he still managed to score 21 points. One of my favorite plays of this week is Ladd McConkey. He didn't score more than 13.4 points in a game, only cracking double digits once in his first 4 games. But in the 6 games since, touchdown in 4 of them, been targeted 7+ times in 5 of 6, and he scored 14.9 points or more on DK in 5 of 6, 20 points or more in half of them, facing a Jags defense that allows the 5th most passing yards. And one of the 5 teams in the NFL who've already allowed 20+ passing touchdowns. The Jags struggle pressuring the quarterback, which that's going to be tested today with the Chargers obviously having the tackle issue. But even if not, they struggle with quick passes and preventing wide receivers to get yards after the catch. Ladd ranks 9th in yards after the catch, 2nd in juke rate, and 17th in target separation versus man defenses. Just one cheap play real quick at receiver is Jaden Higgins for the Texans. We know Davis Mills starting again. He scored a touchdown in back-to-back games. Obviously, with Mills last week, he's averaging 4.5 receptions on 7.5 targets for 38 yards and a touchdown in his last 2 games. That he's seen more than 1 target, which I expect him to do again today. 14.3 fantasy points per game in those games where he's seen more than 1 target, and facing a Titans defense that allows almost 40 points per game to opposing wide receiver over their last 3. And wide receivers have scored 34.8 points or more in every game this season against the Titans. They're real bad. Tight ends real quick. Trey McBride, man, goodness gracious. The 4 games with Brissett, McBride's been targeted 46 times, at least 9 in each of those. 32 receptions for 328 yards, and 5 of his 6 touchdowns on the season have came in that span. I mean, he's averaging 23.7 points per game. I don't think this is nearly high enough that they've bumped up his salary. So I'm playing McBride just about everywhere. Gadsden, again, for the Chargers is a good option as well. He scored double digits in 4 or 5, averaging over 6 targets and over 5 receptions over his last 5 games. And this Jaguars defense, they've allowed 7+ receptions to opposing tight ends in 5 of their last 6 games, while allowing 10 touchdowns to tight ends in just their last 6. And then if you want like a punt tight end, I do really like Noah Fant this week, another Bengals pass catcher who has benefited from Flacco taking over at QB. In the 4 games Fant's played with Flacco, they include 4 of his 5 highest scoring weeks on DraftKings. He's caught a touchdown pass in 2 of his last 3, and his 14.4 points versus this same Steelers defense is the most that Fant scored all this year. The defense this week, I'm just basically going Broncos or Cardinals. It depends on what you're thinking. If you think that Purdy's going to be rusty, I think the Cardinals are an interesting play. Like I really do. But when I can only pay 100 more, even with the Broncos facing, obviously an offense like the Kansas City Chiefs, they live off of sacks. I mean, they've scored 5+ points in 9 of their 10 games, 9+ in 5 of 10. And again, it's just the sacks. 5 games with 5 or more, 7 games with 4 or more, and 4 games with 6 or more sacks. That's automatic points. So that's probably the defense I'm going with overall. But I do, the Cardinals are intriguing to me because it's been a while since Brock Purdy played. And he is known, at least earlier this season, to throw some picks and stuff.
No doubt. Yeah. I love that, Keith. That was good. As you were talking, I'm sitting here adjusting my line. I'm trying to fix, trying to figure out a way to configure it all. I love it, man. That was great stuff. Make sure, too, if you want some more DFS, go check out Keith's cash game article and his NFL.
Well, just a cheat sheet, unfortunately, this week. Vegas caused, unfortunately, for the main slate article to not come out this week. But, we're going to be finishing around 12:15. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter. I'm totally fine with that. Be happy to help.
Love that, man. Love that. And also jump into that Discord. We're all happy to help.
Absolutely.
All right, boys, let's go ahead. Let's jump right into the start-sit segment of the show. We got Mr. Ike Bonni and Mr. Mike LaPlant filling in for Kyle this week. How you doing, fellas?
Mike's here. Holy cow. What's up?
Mike and Ike's back.
That's 2 weeks of surprising people. Last time was Joe. This time it's Keith.
Yellow.
This time I put you in the description, though, man, so that people knew you were.
Oh, wow. Wow. I feel so
That's why I was wondering why so many people were watching this live stream, and now I know.
Nonsense. Yeah. It's because the DFS part was first, not last. That's why.
It was fire. It was fire, too. I love it. Let's jump into it, guys. Ike, we'll let you start here. I feel like we're going to get a lot of questions about RJ Harvey today. That's why he's the cover photo of this show. So, PPR, RJ Harvey, or Quinshon Judkins? Let's just start there, Ike, with the running back.
I'll go RJ Harvey. Has more opportunity in the passing game than Judkins by a lot.
Okay, that's fair. Mike, we'll go right down the line. Go ahead.
Man, I want to see that scenario with you, Ike, but, I mean, this is Sean Payton's offense. Jaleel McLaughlin, who was a healthy scratch last week, could be the passing back this week. We don't know. It could be Batty or Beatty. I don't trust Sean Payton with the rookie, even though it looks like he has the opportunities. I think the safer play is still to go with Judkins. I know it's against the Ravens, but we know he's going to get majority of the work. We know that. We're just assuming Harvey is going to.
I mean, Samson's in into some of it, so
Samson hasn't been relevant since like week 2.
He's still getting pass catches.
I'm saying majority of the work, though. We're not. Yeah. That's my argument.
Keith, what do you got here? I'm curious your thoughts because I was waiting for you to say RJ Harvey's name in the DFS segment and it never came about, man.
Well, it's because Mike made the case for it. Like until I see it, I can't trust it. However, in this situation, I would probably play Harvey over Judkins. It's a PPR format. Judkins does not catch any passes. And then the big thing is his games, he's excelled when the Browns are either in the game or have the lead. And I worry this is going to be one of those games that the Ravens are going to jump on the Browns early. And then we've seen he has some really poor performances. Believe it or not, I actually think Judkins has a higher ceiling of the two players, because if it is a competitive game, the Ravens have not been great against the run. I could see him having a big day. I just do worry they're going to get behind. He's not going to be able to catch passes, to where the Chiefs are also a defense that's pretty good versus the run, but they have had some issues covering backs out of the backfield. And I think that could lead to Harvey, if Sean Payton doesn't do Sean Payton things, getting like at least 5-6 targets. Plus, I would assume, again, because of a Sean Payton thing, he's going to get a majority of the rush attempts. But for DFS, I can't trust it until I see it.
That's the whole thing with me, is it's all just speculation right now. That's all. Give me the safety. Sure. Like, I know Judkins is going to get 15 plus touches.
Yep.
All right. And then Keith, go ahead and take it away. These next two, Dak or Lamar, and then Judy or Addison.
It's tough, man, because the Raiders are a pretty bad defense, but I can't set Lamar Jackson. Like, I just can't in any situation. Like, if you have Lamar or Allen, those are the two guys that I can't sit, because they have both the rushing and the passing upside. As for the receiver, I know this is going to sound insane, but I think I would lean Judy. Like, since McCarthy has become the quarterback, Addison has been an afterthought, to the point where Jalen Naylor is seeing more targets than him. So I don't understand what that is. I haven't, investigated enough to figure out if this is something that's just like where Addison lines up, if it's situational, but he was getting so many targets with Wentz, like to the point where it almost looked like it was a 1A, 1B with him and Jefferson. That has not been the case in this 2 starts by McCarthy. Maybe it's because McCarthy, didn't play with him in the game and whatever first two starts that he had this season because he was suspended. But it's kind of like what I was just saying with, Harvey. Until I see Addison get back to being like, I can't really trust him to where I think Cleveland is going to be down and need to be throwing. So I think Judy's going to get more volume.
You make a fair point. Are we going clean sweep for Lamar here, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's clean. You can't sit Lamar unless he's injured.
We're going to go Judy or Addison here.
I think you can make a case for Addison over Judy because Addison does pretty well against the Bears when he plays against them. So still, you got to trust JJ McCarthy, and I don't think I can do that. So I'm still going Jerry Judy.
I find it like it's a tough thing to start Judy and Judkins from the same team.
Right. That's why I said Harvey. So Harvey and Judy for me.
I understand going the Harvey situation if you don't want to be starting 2 Browns because I wouldn't want to be either. But I'm starting Judy over Addison if those are my only 2 choices at the wide receiver. And if that is my choice, then I'm going to go RJ Harvey actually over Judkins just because I can't start 2 Browns on my lineup.
Good point there, Mike. Way to circle back to that. God. I suck at fantasy. Where are we going to go here? PPR, Mad Lad McConkey or Rashee Rice? Yeah, Keith talked about in his DFS segment how much he loved Lad McConkey, but it's Rashee Rice though, guys, and no Patrick Surtain either. So where do we go?
It's Rice. Surtain's out, and Rice gets all the short targets. So even with the Broncos leading the league in sacks, short targets, getting the ball out quick. That's what Mahomes is going to have to do to Rashee Rice for it to work. So it's just going to it's a freebie PPR points is how I see it with Rashee Rice.
But I mean, that's a really good choice you have to make. A really terrible one though, because Ladd should be starting too.
Yeah,
no doubt. PPR, Derrick Henry, Khalil Shakir. Henry makes me nervous after last game against the Browns. Browns do have a solid run.
I'm still going Henry.
Pass funnel. You're going to go Henry here pretty easily.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, where are you going to go?
Man, this is that floor ceiling question answer I always give. Like Derrick Henry is hands down the safer play to go. He's not going to be involved in the passing game as we know. But Ravens are going to be in the red zone, and the red zone is where Derrick Henry thrives.
Should be up, so he should get.
So it's Derrick Henry. But if you were unfortunate enough I still say Derrick Henry has the higher ceiling even in a game like this. Because I was going to say, if you were unfortunate to play against Travion Henderson on Thursday night, you want to reach for the stars. You still want to go Derrick Henry.
Still do that, yeah.
I still think Derrick Henry has the higher ceiling in this case because he can get 2-3 touchdowns, where Shakir will get the one for a long touchdown. But that's it.
I feel you. I'm going to answer a couple questions we got over on Reddit here. Where are we going to go? Okay, Dylan.
Okay.
Where are we going to go? Joe Flacco or Brock Purdy today?
I had the same question in our home league, boys, with Brock Purdy sitting out on the waiver wire because I'm starting Joe Flacco today.
All right, so what are you doing? You going to stick with Joe?
I'm sticking with Smoking Joe.
You have to.
The
weapons are just insane.
Yeah.
The weapons, Brock Purdy could be rusty, like Keith was alluding to earlier in the DFS section, where I am a little worried that Purdy just could be a little rusty. Maybe they lean more on CMC. So I am going to go with Flacco because here's the thing. The Niners are still kind of in the playoff hunt. The Bengals are just falling behind. They need to win. So Flacco is going to need to possibly throw for another 350 yards today.
Yeah. Keith, are you in? The question is Flacco or Purdy?
Oh, no, I would definitely go Flacco. Again, he's averaging 30 points per game over his last 3. And Chase Brown is not, he's been better since they've had more of a passing attack, but still not a great runner or something that they're planning on doing a lot. I expect them on a Pittsburgh defense that has really struggled. Honestly, versus the pass and the run. I think that game's going to have a good bit of points, and you can just guarantee that Flacco is going to throw it a lot, to where with Purdy, to his point, I could see them leaning on CMC and it not be a deal where he throws it more than 20, 25 times in his first start in almost 2 months.
I'm going to have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. Now, my memory's not the greatest. CMC owns the Cardinals since he's come to the Niners. Like, he is just completely...
He pretty much owns every team.
Like Derrick Henry with the, what was it, the Texans for a long time.
Yeah.
Pretty much right down 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, that's how I feel. And I'm going to have to look it up real quick when we move on. But, yeah, like CMC, to my knowledge, he's always had, like, at least 2 touchdowns against the Cardinals when he plays them.
Now you're maybe getting me to edit a little bit of my plays.
Paid $1 million for CMC today. Yeah, that's like you said, Keith. It's tough to fit him in the DFS.
It's so tough, especially because again, I've got Chase in a lot of lineups, but I may have to adjust that a little bit if Mike gives me some good information.
Where are we gonna go here? Another RJ Harvey question. We go RJ Harvey or Kamani Vidal. We'll let you go ahead here, Ike. Start us.
I'm gonna roll with RJ Harvey still.
Okay, Keith, where are you gonna go?
This is one of those that I know I say this a lot on the show, but if you need the high floor,
and I thought I was going to be lost on my.
I would go with Vidal because you know he's going to get all the touches. But if you need more of the boom,
can you guys still hear me?
Harvey, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, we missed your. At least I missed.
No, I heard him. We
okay.
Heard him.
That's on me then. I was definitely lagging there. I apologize. I did not hear what you said, Keith, but I'm guessing you went with Vidal.
I did for the floor, and then Harvey for the ceiling.
The ceiling, because I just don't want to basically repeat what you said, but I'm going Vidal as well.
Okay. Like went with Harvey still.
I did find the info on CMC in 8 games versus the Cardinals. Now this is just rushing, not receiving. He has 117 carries for 632 yards and 10 touchdowns in 8 games against the Cardinals.
I like hearing that.
Okay. Good stat there. From our good buddy Brandon here, half point PPR and half point for rushing attempt. Like that. Start 3, Woody Marks, Kamani Vidal, Quinshon Judkins, Kenneth Walker, or Parker Washington. Michael Plant, go ahead, man.
This is just one? Oh, no, start 3. My bad. Vidal is my lock. Man. And I think I will be going with PJ Washington, even though it's a tough matchup against the Chargers because Ryan Thomas is out as well. It's basically just Jacoby Myers and Washington there. We saw what Washington can do last week. And then
what about there's a snake in my boot right now, man? He talked about it DFS too. I like Woody this week.
I think that's the other one just because of the matchup compared to Judkins. Because I look at Woody's floor the same as Judkins. It's just he's got a little bit of higher ceiling with the matchup. So it's Woody, Vidal, and PJ.
Definitely, again, Woody Marks, I think, is going to have maybe his best game of the season. The only reason I'm not sure about that is because the first time he played the Titans, he scored 29 points. But I think that it's a very good matchup, obviously, for him. I think I'd have to start. Yeah, I'd start Vidal, and I'd probably lean Jukins because it's the half point you get per attempt. I just think that those 3 backs are going to get the highest percentage of the carries. I don't know what the deal is with, Seattle. They still seem to believe that Charbonnet is an equal back to Walker. I don't think that's the case, but I'm not a coach or a GM. So, but I would go with those guys. And I worry that the Parker Washington stuff is going to be affected more and more. Jacoby Myers gets, basically used to this Jacksonville offense. Cause I think he's going to take a lot of the slot snaps, and that is where Parker Washington's killing it right now.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Mike, where are you going to go?
I would do the first 3. But to Mike's point about C-Mac against Arizona in his last 3 games against them, 48 points, 24, and 41.
Hello. Yeah, I'm going to be making a few adjustments there. Thank you for that information, Mike LaPlant.
No problem. We got a touchdown in Madrid finally.
Debo, right?
Yeah.
And then Brandon said we did end up 2 out of the 3, or 3 out of the 4 of us did leave PJ on Parker on the bench here. He's got Devontae Adams, Nico Collins, and AJ Brown starting. Would you swap Washington in for any of those guys?
No.
Gonna go with AJ Brown still. He would be the only question mark here.
Who's the first one?
Devontae Adams.
Oh,
he just
okay.
scores touchdowns too. So
No, I just didn't know who
to
Tay
play.
was. Okay. Yeah, I can't. I'm not sitting for any of those guys. Like,
No,
I
somehow
know
Nico Collins had his best game of the year with David Mills last week, so you can't sit him either. And I feel like they're gonna, feed, oil the squeaky wheel with AJ Brown after that stream comment.
very well could.
you got to keep them happy.
Yeah, you do. For Cody here, need 2 wide receivers: Troy Franklin, Xavier Worthy, Quentin Johnston, or Juwan Jennings. Full point PPR. Keith, I'll let you take this one away here. Need 2 wide receivers.
Okay, so Johnston is just, to me right now, not the guy. I think he's going to be the most affected by them losing both their tackles. He runs the deepest routes of the Chargers pass catchers, and I do. I think he's going to be affected by far the most. I think Purcell coming back is actually going to be a net positive for Jennings. So Jennings is a definite start, and I think that Worthy is not going to have Patrick Surtain on him. I would assume that they're going to play him on Rice as much as possible. So
Surtain's out, Keith.
Oh, he's out?
Yep,
Ooh.
he's out today.
Oh, I think I'd still go Worthy and Jennings.
Okay.
But that does make a difference for Rashee Rice, who now may feast yet again.
Right on. All right, Mike, let you take it. Where are you going to go here?
So I'm not knocking Keith's analysis here with Quentin Johnston at all, because back in week 4, when they first lost both their tackles, because it's not the first time they lost both their tackles this year, they were playing the Giants. And the Giants, as we know, have a good pass rush. It's about the only thing good on their defense. And I thought, because I have Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, I was like, oh, Keenan Allen's going to be the guy. Quick, short routes. Quentin Johnston, just like you said,
That
he's
goes
going
to
to be
Ladd
the most
now.
affected. Now, I mean, Ladd is in the play, but back in week 4, Quentin Johnston had 13 targets, caught 8 of them for 98 and a touchdown against the Giants. When I had that very same thought, it was a month and a half ago. I'm going with my gut on this one. That's why I'm saying I'm not knocking your analysis, because I had the same analysis 6 months ago with it as well. Now, 6 weeks ago, but I'm going Quentin Johnston and Worthy.
That's fair.
I'm surprised no one's saying Franklin when he's actually playing better than almost all of them, except for Johnston sometimes. But I'm going to go Franklin and I'm going to go Franklin and Worthy.
All right. We help Cody with at least one. We're going to lock in Worthy here.
That's
and
true.
then just go with your gut, Cody. Wherever you go, man.
That's how I feel with Johnston, man. I'm going with my gut on that one.
From Taylor, good morning to you, my friend. All is good over here. Wins are crazy in a lot of games today. Got him overthinking. Should he stick with Flacco or pivot to McCarthy, Geno, or Love?
No.
Mike shaking his head. No. Keith, how about you?
I mean, Jordan Love would be the one guy that you could convince
the
me
only
the
option.
Giants are awful versus the pass. The problem is they're also awful versus the run. And I just can see Green Bay, who, obviously just lost their, best offensive weapon, leaning on that run. They, again, have proved that in several games. And Flacco had, say what you will, dude's old. He can still really throw the ball. And he has played his entire career in windy, cold conditions. So I don't think that, Flacco, any quarterback just about, is going to be concerned about the weather. So I would stick with Flacco. There's no way, though. Love, you could talk me into. McCarthy and Geno,
Totally fair there, Mike. Same thing with you here.
Yeah, same with Flacco. Flacco played majority of his career in Baltimore, where they have crappy weather. It's nothing out of the unusual.
Unless the wind is 60 miles an hour, it's not really going to affect.
It's really when it's 25, 30. That's when it's affects.
Because, last week wasn't the Bears game super windy, and Jackson Dart was able to throw some decent passes still.
Him and Caleb are both being able to whip it through the wind still last week. Yeah, so I don't like – that we talked about it too last week, that I don't like overthinking the weather stuff. But
unless it's super snowy or something.
He gets the ball off fast. It's not like he's taking deep shots to where it's going to affect his throwing. And
could affect Higgins, though, again, because Higgins is the guy that they're throwing the ball, it seems like, more down the field with. But it could also be downwind, right? Depending on the direction that they're going. So I wouldn't overthink that. If there's a better option in a dome, of course, or an equal option in a dome, I'm always going to take the indoor games. It just seems like they tend to be higher scoring, but I'm not going to, make an adjustment like that or have somebody way higher than I do the other options just because they're in, say a dome or better weather.
Where are we going to go here, guys? Cody needs one wide receiver, one flex. Roma Dunze, Rico Dowdle, Troy Franklin, and Kamani Vidal. I think we got to lock Dowdle in here, right?
Yeah, 544 rushing yards allowed our last 4 games. Falcons' run defense is freaking atrocious.
And then do we go Dunze or Vidal here? Keith, do you have any stats on does Minnesota play more zone?
They play man because they blitz all the time, so they're in man a lot. I think it's 40%, which that is historically very good for a Dunze. I don't know, what did he do week 1? Does anybody know?
I know he scored. He scored a touchdown. I know for sure, but I don't remember.
I don't remember either off the top of my head.
I'll look it up real quick.
Wasn't he wide receiver? He was a wide receiver 1, I think. Top
9
12.
targets.
He scored 15.7 points. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 touchdown, 37 yards. So if we're locking Dowdle in here, we only have the option between a Dunze and Franklin. A wide receiver and a flex.
So I would go with Dunze.
So it's a Dunze and Dowdle then.
Again, because of the man split. He's becoming kind of like AJ Brown, who it's if it's a zone defense, AJ probably ain't going to do a lot. If it's a man defense, I mean, it's like the Giants, right? Who run man at the highest. He had monster games, I think, in both games. So it's just, some of those guys, it does make a difference. Joe Matz is always harping on the man zone splits, and, certain receivers kill it.
It really does. It really does here from Juan. Started Debo on accident. Hey, man, it worked out.
Scored.
Got in the end zone. I love when that happens. So you're all right there. But needs a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, and a flex spot on a Parker Washington, Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison, Jacoby Myers, Tez Johnston. Dylan. Tez Johnson, Hollywood Brown, and then Zach Sharp. He's got RB, Zach Charbonnet, Devontae Adams, Travion Henderson, and Josh Jacobs is RB 1 and 2. So we need 3 here. Wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, and a flex spot, guys.
I think Jacoby Myers is a lock with Brian.
I think Tez Johnson is.
I agree.
Those are your 2. Really?
That would be my 2. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like.
Then we need one more.
We could lock them in. Where are we going to go with the flex here, then, boys?
I go with Quentin Johnson and Jacoby Myers, but that's just me. But then flex would be Tez.
I'll go QJ on this one, I guess.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, another one from Cody. Need one flex. Save Flowers, Kamani Vidal, Chase Brown, or Aaron Jones, full point PPR. Take it away.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Vidal or Chase Brown. Let me think about it, because Flowers has been struggling lately a little bit.
I also like the matchup for Aaron Jones as well. Scored against the Bears in Week 1. Keith, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, it's funny. I really like Flowers, Jones, and Brown this week. All 3, I think, have good matchups. Because Cleveland, we know, is very good versus the run, which is going to force Baltimore to throw, and Flowers just sees by far the most volume. The problem is again, what I was talking about earlier, can Baltimore get up enough to where they won't be throwing a ton the entire game? Because otherwise Flowers is pretty much a guarantee for 6-7 receptions and 10 targets. In almost every competitive game they've been down this season, that's what's happened. But Chase Brown had by far his best game versus Pittsburgh earlier this year. So I think that's ultimately where I would go, but I like all 3 of, again, those guys a lot.
Vidal, Brown, and Flowers, but I lean Chase Brown out of all 4 of those. That's a tough decision, but I lean Chase Brown.
All right. From Alex here, Tez Johnson, Michael Wilson. Mike, go ahead.
Oh, man, Michael Wilson with Marvin
Harrison.
Yeah, no Marv.
I think it's Greg Dortch season, right, though? That's actually the receiver in Arizona that typically steps up when they're got injuries and stuff at receiver. So I would lean Tez Johnson.
Same.
I still, I lean Tez Johnson. I trust Baker more than I trust Jacoby Brissett.
What?
How dare you?
From Alex, good morning. Part of me wants to play Wandell over T. Higgins. I'm assuming for a safe floor. Would that be dumb, Keith? You're saying no.
Not at all. I mean, Jameis Winston is going to sling it.
Yeah, he's going to throw
and
like
this guy's
40
already
times.
getting like 9-10 targets a game. And we saw Wandell with Russell Wilson, who could throw a good deep ball, have some monster games while still getting the volume. And again, Slayton's out. Like, I think I would probably in a full PPR, I would probably start him over Higgins because
I hate
I just like, well, I mean, I get it, but in a full PPR, like I think he's safe for 10 points at a minimum. And if you look at Higgins, like targets since Flacco's came over, like he's just been scoring touchdowns. His volume, like I think he's down to like a 19% target share in the games at home. They are, I believe, on the road, right?
Yeah, they're in Pittsburgh.
At home, you can basically guarantee a touchdown for Higgins because he scored in like whatever 6-7 straight home games.
Yeah, he scores in home games.
And I actually think that I would make that move.
Yeah, it's definitely not dumb either.
All right. Like that. From Cody here. Stafford or Caleb Williams at QB and Devonta Smith or Woody Marks here at the flex full play PPR. Keith, let you take this one.
There's no way that I'm setting Matthew Stafford right now. No. I know that it is a very difficult matchup, and it is, but the dude has 20 touchdowns to 0 interceptions the last 6 weeks. And just with Devonta Adams and Puka, I don't think it really matters who you have on the other side of the ball because, again, when he's blitzed right now, he's at another world. He's also, by the way, thrown 20 touchdowns against the blitz this season. There's only 2 QBs in the last 10 years with more touchdowns versus the blitz for an entire season than what Stafford has right now. The second most in the NFL is freaking Jalen Hurts with 11. Like Stafford is on another level, so I can't sit him. Even with Caleb's upside, potential, I'll take the safe points with Stafford. And then I would probably go Woody Marks. Again, maybe I am too all in on this, but he, again, had the most rush attempts or high snap share of any Texans running back in a single game this season last week. And then his coach went out publicly and said, we need to get him the ball more, which to me sounds like he is going to, get into a firm RB1 volume. And it's a dream matchup for this to be your first week, if that's true, getting, RB1 volume versus a pathetic Titans defense.
Sure. Mike, what do you got?
I'm playing Stafford. As much as I like Caleb's rushing floor, I can't sit Stafford just to all the points that Keith made. Stafford is, in my opinion, the favorite for MVP right now.
Should be the MVP.
It should be.
All those 3-yard touchdowns to Devonta Adams.
Hey man, Aaron Rodgers benefited off of them.
You're right. Yep, that's
Aaron Rodgers won MVPs off those 3-yard touchdowns, so Stafford should be doing the same. And it is hard. It's hard for me in week 11 to be thinking about starting Woody Marks over Devonta Smith, but I view the starting running back as the higher floor always because he is guaranteed more touches than the wide receiver, unless your name is Jamar Chase. So it's Woody Marks, man. But Devonta Smith, if you want some ceiling, the Lions cornerbacks are down big today. They are going to be going I think I saw Avonte Maddox is going to be lining up against AJ Brown, which means I don't even know who's going to be lining up against Devonta Smith if that's the case. So I do think that Smith offers a little bit of a higher ceiling here because we do think the Lions are going to score on the Eagles and have to force them to score. But the safer plays Marks, but if you want to reach for the ceiling, I go Smith.
Where are you going to go here, Ike?
Stafford and Marks.
Stafford and Marks.
Reach for the stars.
Yeah, if you gotta scrape for some points, man, go Smith. I think he's possible 2 touchdown game going against the Lions.
PPR Survivor League here. D2, Travis Kelce, Jordan Addison, Juwan Jennings, DK Metcalf, or Romeo Dobbs. I think you got to lock DK in with a great matchup against the Bengals, right?
Man, the last time this matchup, though, he was the worst player on the team.
Yeah, he got no love.
It was like 4 receptions, I think, or 3 receptions.
I just don't understand why they don't target him more. Like that, does he have more than 6 targets in a game this season? He's been pretty effective with them,
once.
But I think you have to start Kelce. this is a huge game for Kansas City. Like if they lose this game, they're in real trouble. Like for the playoffs, and historically, that is when Kelsey comes through, right? Like when they need him the most, that's where he is. So I think Kelsey is definitely a start. After that though, like again, I can't trust Addison right now. So for me, and now after seeing what Dobbs did last week, when I assumed, told everybody start him, he's going to get all this volume. For me, it was between Metcalf and Jennings for the other spot.
So one game of over 8 targets for Metcalf this year is against Cleveland in Week 6.
Rather throw to the third string tight end, man, Darnell Washington.
Hey,
big dude.
I think I still lean, because here's the thing: the Steelers they're playing to win that division, and they know the Ravens are creeping up on them. They know they need this
on
game.
Their butt.
I think they're going to get their $150 million wide receiver involved. I think a little bit more this time around, since they just threw to all tight ends last. So I do believe DK is prime for a bounce back week. I mean, the Bengals are literally the best matchup to have the bounce back week against. I know he's going to have DJ Turner, but I lean DK and Travis. Those are the two I trust here, and with it being Survivor League, man.
You could
Turner's
swallow
like 5'8", by the way, so DK is just going to tower over that dude.
Yep.
So it's DK and Kelsey for me.
I could live
I don't trust
playing those two and losing. I don't know if sitting those two to play Romeo Dobbs and Jennings and losing that would be a tough pill to swallow.
Matthew Golden is active for Week 11, so that less targets for Romeo Dobbs there potentially. Less snaps.
I think that's going to be a heavy run script. I really do. I'd be shocked if they don't just kind of run it down New York's throat.
Ike, where are you going to go here? Bo Nix or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going Rodgers as well.
Mike's going Rodgers as well against Cincy.
Ooh.
I don't think it's going to be a shootout in Kansas City, and plus Bo Nix has been struggling, so I don't know. He does still score some fancy points, but
that Denver Chiefs game has slog divisional game written all over it of 17-13 kind of, but
which means it's just going to be a shootout.
Really, but
no,
the thing with Bo Nix, and this is why I'm going Rodgers, is because Rodgers is going to give you 4 quarters. Nix is going to give you 1, and it's the 4th quarter.
But then he might score all of his points in the 4th quarter and just,
give me 4 quarters compared to 1.
Fair enough.
I mean, my instinct is to say Nix because I always want the guy with the higher floor. I think that typically is the recipe for success, but I think I wrote this down. Yeah. The Bengals have allowed opponents to score 111 points over their last 3 games. The Steelers scored 31 in Week 7. Rodgers in that game scored 24.6 points on DK, second most by 0.2 points this season, throwing for 249 yards, the most passing yards he's had this season, and 4 touchdowns, which tied for his most passing touchdowns this season. So as crazy as it seems, I agree with these guys. I think that Rodgers is the safer play with the potential to have a monster game because since he's so bad, with the added benefit of they score points. So Pittsburgh, even if since he goes crazy, they're just going to be in, garbage time Chuck mode late in the game.
Last little nugget on it. There has been 2 top 10 finishes for Aaron Rodgers this year. It was Week 1 against the Jets and against the Bengals, both QB7 finishes. Those are his only top 10 finishes. So go with Rodgers.
Morning, BD. PPR lost players to injury, need a wide receiver and a flex. Tyler Algier, Luther Burden, Cedric Tillman, Khalif Raymond. Thanks in advance. I fired up Luther Burden this week, playing him in a dynasty league. I don't know why, guys, but I feel it in my bones that he's gonna have a big play.
You feel it, yeah. And obviously, Tyler Algier
got this.
Is the first. I want to say it's the first time all year last week he played more snaps than Olamide Zaccheaus as well. So they're starting to work him in more, and they kind of need it. I feel like they need him, especially after all the drops we watched last week. I get that Bears game.
If Minnesota's aggressive like they normally are with the blitz, I think they blitz on 40% of their passing plays. Obviously, if Caleb can make the right throw, that can be some big chunk plays. So I I do like Burden. Tillman to me also though needs to be considered. He's somebody who, like I like the volume he saw in the first week. I know he didn't really do much, but if you think like I do that Cleveland's going to be down and throwing a lot, I could see him having a decent day. Algier though to me is the lock. Like,
Okay.
I hate that you're saying that, but it's true.
I mean, it is though. Like he's going to get most of the carries inside the 5, and he should.
No, he's going to get all of them. Let's be real.
Bijan's got 1 in the last 3 weeks. He's got 5. So
I consider that all of them.
Not all of them, but. And then the other thing is just if the Falcons get up, he's their closer. Like they've shown that in almost every game that they've been winning this year. And the reason for that is he barely has runs that go for no yards. Like he's always getting positive gains, like 3-4 yards. And then the biggest thing, he's never fumbled in his entire NFL career. So it's like, just give him the ball and let's run out the clock. So that's 2 different ways he can score points. He's by far the safest, in my opinion, of the 4. Because he's going to get, probably at least 10 touches at a minimum.
I'm glad Michael Plant's here to hear you say that, Keith, because Ike and I have to talk him off the ledge every week about Tyler Allgeier's score and the touchdowns and the red zone touches and all that. So I'm glad Mike's here to hear that.
Oh, I get it. It's frustrating.
My only devil's advocate argument here is Keith, how often are the Falcons up on a team able to close out a game? Like even against these Panthers, the last time they played,
shots fired, man,
30-0. So like, that's where I look at it and go, all right, I agree with you. But if they're not up, why are they still using him in the red zone is my only quarrel.
Because Bijan gets a lot of stuffed runs. Like, unfortunately, that is the bad part of Bijan Robinson is that if he does not get, like, if you watch, most Bijan runs either go for 6 or more yards or they go for like 0, 1, -1 yards. Like, I watch every snap. It's frustrating. Like,
that's fair, but we know, and you and I have both seen it. I mean, you're the Falcons fan. I'm just the Bijan fan. They can use him in the passing game in the red zone. We've seen him score plenty of touchdowns in the past. And I understand the quarrel with rushing touchdowns. That is what it is. But I look at it as they are not even interested in using him in the red zone. That's what it comes down to. It's
a terrible coaching staff. There's no doubt. Raheem is awful in game decisions. And Zach Robinson, it is. And Zach Robinson is, I think, one of the worst play callers in the NFL. We start our running back 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 1. They have to gain 8 yards to get 1 yard. Like, again,
but they get a running start,
coach. But it just, to me, it doesn't make any sense. We need half a yard. And we're starting our fucking running back 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Like, what sense does that make? I'm sorry, that's stupid.
It's like a 4th and 1 and running a bubble screen.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, guys, we got to go ahead and move on. So we're going to go Keith went Tyler Allgeier with the lock here. I went with Burden. Mike and Ike, you got anything else to add?
It's Tillman and Allgeier for me.
Tillman and Allgeier. Ike, you're going to go Burden and Allgeier?
Yeah.
All right. For Brandon here, am I overthinking this? But decided between Woody or Nico at the flex spot, full PPR.
No, I'm playing Nico Collins. Yeah. I love Woody Marks, but I'm not sitting Nico Collins.
Nope.
Glad we came to that conclusion there. Dion, Javonte Williams or Rico Dowdle?
Oh, I go Rico.
I lean Javonte. Like, they both have really, really good floors, but one has a better running back behind him that's able to take more of the workload from him. Chuba Hubbard is much better than Jaden Blue. So if Rico does potentially struggle, I'm not saying he is, but if he does, they can always relieve him and put Chuba in for a couple drives. Where I don't think they're going to do that with Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue.
All right. Keith, break the tie.
Again, Falcons 544 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns in their last 4 games. Rico Dowdle is scoring 29 fantasy points per game when he receives 80% of the rush attempts, which those were the 2 games that Hubbard didn't play. And then the last 2 games since they said that Hubbard is going to play, but he is definitely the number 2 back. So I'm going Dowdle. They're both great plays because I expect the Cowboys to score a lot of points. But until Dowdle has, last week was technically a bad game. What did he score, 15, 16 points? So
compared,
yeah.
This is one of those ones where they both have about the same floor. Which one do you think has the higher ceiling?
Mike, take it away here. Parker Washington, Quentin Johnston, two guys of names that you've said to start today. So where are you going out of the two of them?
Man, that's a tough one for me. My gut says Johnston, but the volume's going to lean, I think, more towards Parker. I mean, he has seen 8 targets in his last 3 games. Johnston's not guaranteed those 8 targets with Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey and those lost tackles. So I do lean Parker Washington over Johnston.
All right.
Same.
Mike, you're not in agreement.
Yeah, it would be TJ out as well.
Yeah. Again, I've been wrong about QJ pretty much all this season, so you probably should start him with me being so down on him. But again, volumes.
That's kind of how I feel
start eating into those slot snaps. Parker Washington is I think a top 20 receiver if he's going to be playing in the slot. 70-80%, which is what he's been doing recently.
Hell, if he's got the chance of a punt return touchdown too.
Yep, exactly.
Points.
Yep.
Start 2, Travis Etienne, DeAndre Swift, Devonta Smith, Quinshawn Judkins. Ike, where you going?
I'm gonna go Etienne and Swift.
Etienne and Swift, okay. Don't mind that, Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean,
That's
Judkins again to me is interesting because if the game's competitive, he's going to get all the rush attempts, and Baltimore's not been great versus the run, but he's asking for a safe floor. We know Etienne gets, a majority of the touches. I know he doesn't get all the red zone, which is kind of frustrating. And then Swift, I mean, it looked like last week, despite Monangai having that great game, this is still DeAndre Swift's backfield, and Monangai is just a 1B back.
Yep.
It's Etienne and Swift for me as well. That's a clean sweep.
All right. And then not sure what it means, guys, but Calvin Ridley is active today.
What?
That means he's
God.
playing.
Let's go.
Drake London, illness and back, active. Brian Thomas out. Matthew Golden, active today. Keon Coleman will be a healthy scratch because he was late in the meetings.
They want
Friday.
Gabe Davis, apparently.
No Kincaid. No Coleman. Might be a huge Shakir day.
We had a question when you were gone, too, about Shakir.
I mean, that really does make me reconsider Shakir for DFS because that or maybe it could just be a huge James Cook day, actually.
That's how I feel. Is
Dawson Knox, anytime touchdown.
Because Gabe Davis,
All right.
I mean, I
do like
Gabe
that.
Davis is coming up for blocking, not for catching, in my opinion. That's what I think they're bringing him up from the practice squad.
And James Cook, by the way, we had this on the stats you should know. 43% of his rush attempts this season have gone for 5 or more yards. Most in the NFL. That is ridiculous.
Ooh, yeah, that's.
Is he better than his brother when he was
Yes.
Delvin?
I think he's
might be,
arguably
too.
like the 3rd or 4th best pure runner, like running back in the NFL right now.
Just watching him play, man, his shiftiness, his breaking tackles now too.
He's put on so much weight. It's just muscle, but like he's so much bigger than he was in college.
Washington or Troy Franklin? Who am I missing here with Washington? It can't
Parker.
be Malik Washington.
Parker,
Probably
right?
PJ.
Okay.
Or yeah, Parker. I don't.
It's Parker over Franklin.
PJ's the Maverick. Michael Plant.
Yeah, that's true. PJ is the Maverick, but it's Washington for me as well.
Yeah, clean sweep.
All right. Dion, Tracy Hunt, Chubb need one running back and one flex. Do we just cross off Nick Chubb here?
Yeah, first 2.
Chubb played
Jake was out, I believe.
last week or so.
Like I said, Mark's had by far the most snaps of any Texan this season, and then the coach came out and said we need to get him the ball more. That to me sounds like that last week is more of the norm moving forward.
Pacheco's out too, so.
Mhm.
give me
Oh,
Hunt
that's
and
right.
Tracy.
I forgot. No, yeah, Hunt's a pretty sneaky play. He'll fall in the end zone. He always does.
Yeah,
Right.
fall forward.
Juwan
yard.
Jennings, Romeo Dobbs, Keenan Allen, Parker Washington need 2.
Parker, no matter what.
Man, I'm skeptical of Jennings with Ricky Pearsall back and the whole leaning on CMC, but I don't want to play Dobbs or Keenan Allen.
You really think that because Jennings was still like the leading receiver in terms of target share, targets, etc. when like everybody's been healthy for the last like 2 years, basically since Ayuk's been out. I still think he is especially for Purdy. Like most of his monster games last year were with Purdy at QB.
Yeah,
I might
Definitely
be wrong,
like him
but
more than Dobbs and Allen. So
I
agree.
like
That's
Jennings
the only-
a lot this week.
That's the only thing is like if he had better options other than Dobbs and Allen, I would be going that other option. But because those are less safe than Jennings, even it's just I'm afraid that the Niners are going to be up on the second half and they're just going to run at the clock. Jennings is not going to be even needed.
Are we sure though? Because I mean,
maybe.
Arizona is somebody that they got Seattle was one of the best teams in the NFL, but they played the Colts tight a couple of weeks ago. Like they've been more competitive with Brissett. If you take away last week,
than
they
wrong.
were with Kyler Murray.
I still go Jennings in Washington.
And then Dion here. McConkey, Rice, Buka, need to, can't play all three. Started Henderson in the flex. Dion, just a word of wisdom here. Try to avoid starting someone in a Thursday night game in your flex, so it gives you a little bit more flexibility.
Good call.
Versatility.
Yes.
I'm going with the first two. I think that's what happened to QJ more than anything is the Chargers remembered that, Lad McConkey is by far our best receiver, especially once you get him the ball. Like out of all the receivers,
open too.
He gets open, he catches everything, and then he's also so good after the catch. Again, what did I say? I think he's ninth, in Yak this season, and they have 2 tackles out. So I think that they're going to be getting rid of the ball quickly. And then, I would have been going Ibuka over Rice, but not knowing Surtain's out, good Lord, I expect Rashee Rice now to feast. I think he
with
is,
that blitzing too. He's just going to get all.
That's what I'm saying. He is whew. I mean, he could have seriously 12, 14 targets a day, especially if they can't run on Denver, which I have real concerns that they will not be able to.
Sure. Agreed.
I'm Rice and Ibuka. I can't sit Ibuka right now coming off of the week he just had against New England. And Buffalo is not great against the pass either. So I'm going Rice and Ibuka, but this is a good problem to have.
Ike, break the tie.
I said McConkey and Rice.
All right.
In your face, Mike.
He's a McConkey owner. It's biased information.
Need a wide receiver and a flex. Franklin, Judy, Sutton, Worthy, Johnston, Pearsall, full point PPR. LaPlant, go ahead.
Oh my Lord, that's a lot of options here. So I think I'm still gonna go Worthy.
Yeah, I think Worthy's the lock out of these, in my opinion.
And then just based solely on volume, even though that volume is going to suck because it's coming from Dylan Gabriel, Jerry Judy.
They should just try out Shador, huh? Maybe think about it,
Yeah.
I would love that in my 2-quarterback dynasty league or Superflex league where I've had Brock Purdy and Jaden Daniels as my only quarterback
I feel the pain.
season. I've had 3 games where I didn't start a freaking quarterback.
Yep, I'm right there with
I've been starting Shador at my Superflex hoping they'd play him sometime.
That's actually not a bad idea. Should at least put him in there with Daniels out in case.
Yeah, give him a spin, man. Might as well try. It's just they're in such a weird spot with drafting Gabriel in the 3rd round and Shador in the 5th round.
I think I would lean though here Worthy and Purcell. It's scary, I get it, but none of the other options other than Worthy do I feel great about. And Purcell had Pearsall, forget how you say it. He had a monster game versus Arizona when they first met. So I'm
scared of that injury, man.
I am too. It's very legit concern, but he's been really good when he's played, right? I know it's only been 3-4 games, but he's got I think the highest floor and ceiling of any of those guys.
If I remember correctly, though, and I could be wrong, I think that game against the Cardinals where Pearsall went off, that was with Mac Jones starting, though, and not Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
All right. Jose, who should I start? Wide receiver, Michael Wilson, A.J. Brown, or Keenan Allen? Need one.
AJ
we
Brown.
Just go AJ here.
Yeah, I can't sit on
Keith. Yeah.
It sucks. It really does. RB, who should I start? Swift, Henry, or Rashad White? Need one.
God, it's crazy that it's not just
PPR?
Start Henry, but I can't start Henry versus the Browns. It's legit one of the best run defenses in the NFL. I'm going to go DeAndre Swift. That is how you beat Minnesota, is running the ball. Chicago is, the Ben Johnson effect is real. Chicago last year was one of the worst teams in the league where their running backs yards before contact. This year, they're one of the best. So I think Swift's the safe play out of the. Rashad White also has a good matchup. I just worry Buffalo's going to get down. And we've seen also Sean Tucker the more effective running back, this could be the week that they're like, we're just going to ride the hot hand and let Tucker run on a bad Buffalo run defense.
If it's PPR, it's Swift.
Yep.
So I do remember that question, Keith. If you want it, it was Derrick Henry or Khalil Shakir PPR.
I mean, knowing what I know now, I would say Khalil Shakir. I would have said Derrick Henry before hearing now that Coleman, because he's out, right? You said not.
Yeah, healthy scratch.
Yeah. I mean, Shakir already is their number one target, and now the second and third best option are both out. Like I would be shocked if Shakir doesn't get like 8 to 10 targets this week.
Man, oh man, do the Bills need an outside receiver, guys? Especially with Keon Coleman.
Attell is old as time, right? Attell is old as time, man.
Yep.
If only they didn't trade back with the Chiefs to get.
They should have been the team to go get Pickens, to be honest. That's who should have gone and got Pickens this summer.
No doubt, man. Parker Washington or Tetaroa, McMillan, Ike, let you take this one.
I'm going Parker still.
The
targets are there.
The thing is Ted's still he's got a floor. It's just a very low floor with that passing offense.
It's a bad matchup too, because the Falcons, like as bad as we are against the run, we've been very good versus
AJ
the
Terrell's good, man.
Yep.
Bates too. Bates is good.
So I would go Washington. I think McMillan, if I remember correctly, did not have a great game, and they won 30-0 the first time. So
what? Oh man, I want to say that I'm gonna look it up here, but yeah, I lean Parker Washington, but I think didn't Tet have the 2 touchdowns in that game, but it was only like 40 something yards.
Pearsall.
You're gonna go Pearsall here, Ike, over Dobbs.
Yeah, this one, I'm going Pearsall.
Injury. Keith as well. All right, Ike as well. From Dion, Worthy, Shakir, Keenan Allen, Jamison Williams, Parker Washington, Jerry Jeudy. Need just one.
Oh,
Jesus. Jamison Williams.
Was it that game, Mike?
No, it was the Dallas game.
Okay.
He did get 8 targets that game, though.
Jamison would not be a bad idea because I know Dan Campbell really wants to get him the ball.
I'm sorry. I've got to start Shakir hearing again the volume alone. And not to mention Philly, I don't believe runs a ton of man defense. And that's the Jamison Williams playbook. Like, I texted you, Dylan, about this last week that anytime he's facing a defense that runs man over 30% of the time, you look at it, he goes for at least 15 points and has a big game.
Sam LaPorta on IR too.
Well, I mean, that's a fair point too. And also just maybe, the fact that the first game that what's his name called the plays, they made it an emphasis to go to James, the lowest target share of St. Brown in I think 2 years. So it seemed like he really was like, look, we got to get the ball to Jameson, which I agree. But again, for volume alone, I'd still start Shakir.
I agree.
This is the only question I feel like I'll have the answer to answer JMO, and it's going to be JMO.
You talked about Ike's bias. There's your bias at Jamison Williams, my guy.
I don't. I'm a Packers fan, and if I'm biased against JMO, that means he's good.
He's really good.
Just got to get him the ball, like you guys said. Joe Flacco, Patrick Mahomes. For me, it's still patty cakes.
Yeah, I can't sit Mahomes, especially he tends to run in these big games a lot more like playoff type game. This is basically a playoff game with the situation standing. So I think his floor is a lot higher because he will be running, especially again without Pacheco. Like they can't run the ball without him doing that.
If this league is anything like ours, Dylan and Ike, where you get penalized for getting sacked.
Yeah.
No, where you get penalized for getting sacked, I think I go Flacco because
Mahomes doesn't get sacked very much though, other than those Super Bowl games against the.
I don't think you realize the Broncos.
Patriots.
They have 46 sacks through 10 games. The next highest is the Steelers, which is 12 behind.
Yeah,
they're at 34.
Chiefs also have one of the best offensive lines in football. I'm fascinated to see this.
I know that's my only thing is if you get penalized for sacks, I guess that this is where I would lean Flacco. But if you don't, you still go Mahomes.
I go Mahomes.
From Edward here, start Addison or Etienne in the flex PPR. I think we're going to go draft Etienne.
I hope that Addison starts becoming a part of Minnesota offense with McCarthy at quarterback. But until I see that, I have real concerns. And I have Addison everywhere and was so excited about it.
From Dion, Dobbs, Keenan Allen, Parker Washington, Worthy, Johnston, Charbonnet, Hunt, Rashad White. Need one wide receiver, one RB, one flex.
Parker, Worthy, White. That's what I'll go.
Who is Allen?
I'm
Keenan?
thinking.
Keenan.
Yeah.
Keenan. It's Parker, Worthy, and then. Oh, man. Yeah, I go White over Hunt and Charbonnet.
I mean, if it's a non-PPR league, I think I'm definitely starting Hunt because I just think it's the best chance of all those guys that he scores a touchdown. If it is PPR, I would go with White, Worthy, and Parker Washington.
All right. Trade question here. Trade away Emeka and Rome for Justin Jefferson and RJ Harvey, full PPR. A little concerned about the playoff schedule for Emeka. I have Amon-Ra, Nico, Sutton, Kyren Williams, Javonte Williams. I don't think I do it.
Absolutely not.
You can't trust Cortland Sutton right now, and I like having the depth there with Emeka and Rome. Keith, you're going to push back a little here?
I mean, to me, why not? You're already like Emeka, Rome, and Sutton are all boom or bust guys. I know Jefferson's not having a typical Jefferson season, but he's going to get you 10 plus points every game. And we may be talking completely different about RJ Harvey in a week or two with Dobbins done for the year, where he could end up being, like your flex week in and week out, depending on the volume. I just because he has Amon-Ra and Nico Collins, I feel like he's strong at receiver anyway. And with the Emeka and Rome, a lot of weeks, I like having less, decisions to make week in and week out. And I think this would do that, where you're going to start
That's a good
Collins, Amon-Ra and Nico every week, or Jefferson with those guys. And then maybe Harvey again sneaks in the lineup, but you have two great backs anyway. So that's more of just an upside play, and you're condensing the decisions you have to make. And they're all studs. Then you would have Jefferson clear number one, Amon-Ra clear number one, Nico clear number one.
The only reason I would do this trade is just because of the depth. Kind of like with what Keith laid out here is you have Amon-Ra, you have Nico. Yes, you have those 4 wide receivers as well, but if you're just leaning on Kyren Williams and Javonte Williams and you want to get another RB in there for the depth, for the playoff push, I don't mind that trade at all because you have the wide receivers to back it up after the trade.
All right, guys, just about at the top of the hour, so let's try to go a little bit faster here with these questions so we're not here
Marks
all day up until
Marks. I like the lead into the microphone. Marks.
But again, I've answered Marks, I think, on every question he's been involved in, except for the Nico Collins one. So I've drank the Kool-Aid, to say the least.
Mercado against San Francisco or Vidal against Jacksonville? Let's just do Kamani, yeah?
Yeah.
Vidal's it's a tougher matchup, but he gets more of the workload.
Keith, give me that look, man. What do you got?
I kind of like DeMarcado today. Look, the Niners, where they struggle the most since they've lost Fred Warner, is stopping the run and backs, coming out of the backfield. And maybe that's where a lot of the passes go with Harrison Jr. out, is they can't just throw it to McBride. Maybe it's actually the backs coming out of the backfield, and it's full PPR. I could see him, having 4 or 5 receptions, and he's averaging 7.9 yards per carry the last 2. If they don't give him a majority of the rush attempts this week, what are they doing?
Sure. All right. Where are you going to go, Mike?
Vidal.
Okay. Same.
Just more PPR pick 2, Parker Washington, Christian Watson, or DK against Cincinnati.
Parker and DK.
Parker.
Yeah.
Right. Rodgers and Warren or Brissett, DeMarcado stack?
Rodgers, Warren.
Do we have to choose the stack?
I mean, is he talking? If he's talking for DFS, it's the Brissett, the Mercado, because they're a lot cheaper. You can get those 2 guys in your lineup for under 10 grand and then allow you to do so much with the rest of your lineup. If it's just overall, who would I rather have?
Yeah, or just redraft Rodgers, Warren.
I'd say, but it's closer than you think. Because again, Brissett has scored 20 points every game. Something Rodgers has only done twice this season.
Oh, okay. Cody here, tough one. Hurts, Matthew Stafford.
Hurts is the other quarterback I did not mention when I was saying Allen Lamar. I can't sit Hurts. Like, I just can't.
He could score a lot of points today, too, with the lines banged up a little bit.
I think it's Hurts. Only because this is a matchup where the Eagles actually have to score.
Right, exactly.
Full point PPR game-winning decision here.
No pressure,
Dylan.
Dylan.
We got some
Thanks.
pressure. We got some. One flex here. Tyrone Tracy against Green Bay. Xavier Worthy against Denver. Singletary taking snaps over Tracy. Worthy don't get much. Surtain is out. Jameis is in. It's a good question here.
I would lean Worthy still. This is a huge game for Kansas City. So I expect Andy Reid to have have some plays like, to get him the ball in space. And Tracy, it's just gross right now. As much as I want the Jameis thing to work, and I really do, I hope he balls out. It could go the other way, right? And this Giants offense could look like what it did when Russell Wilson came in last week, where they just basically gave away a game once Jackson Dart exited.
Sure. Mike, what do you got?
I lean Tracy. Just the safety of the touches. I know he's taking snaps away, but the touches still favor Tracy over Worthy.
I'd go Worthy.
From Eric. Dobbs against the Giants, Algier against Carolina, or Tez against the Bills?
Tez and Algier.
And Tez.
Yeah.
Half PPR. Parker Washington versus the Chargers, or DeMercado versus
and Tez.
Francisco. Tez at Buffalo. Pick one here, homie.
Going Parker.
Half PPR, I'm going to go DeMercado.
Mike, break the tie.
Parker.
Right. Kane. McCarthy, Purdy, or Rodgers?
Oh, I guess it's got to be Rodgers. I don't love any of them this week, but again, the Bengals.
Rodgers has the best
111 points the last 3 games. They are historically bad defense.
Yeah.
QB7 last time he played him.
Kittle against Arizona, or Goddard against Detroit, or both? Sorry for all the questions today.
That's what we're here for, Eric. No problem.
Yeah,
don't
no
have to
doubt.
apologize. I think I'm going to go Kittle.
I can't say Kittle.
The Goddard thing, what scares me is.
He's playing really well.
Who? Goddard. Or Kittle?
Yeah.
I mean, he is. Kittle's been pretty good too, though.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that. Well, I don't know. Now I'm going back and forth. You guys are saying because I know Detroit secondary's got issues. Do they have issues with their linebackers too?
I've only heard about their secondary, not their linebackers. They were down 3 cornerbacks today, I heard.
I know Anzalone's playing. I know Anzalone's playing at least.
I'm sure Campbell's still out there.
Towards Kittle is because I just think that they actually have guys to cover Goddard that normally would. It sounds like they have no one to cover those wide receivers. It could be a heavy volume game for A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith to where I think with Purdy back, Kittle actually took a little ding, at least in terms of points per game with Mac Jones compared to how he's been with Purdy throughout his career.
Mike, anything to add?
Oh, Kittle's one of those tight ends, just like QBs, you can't sit.
Need help at the flex in a full point PPR. Start 2. Washington, Tyrone Tracy, Xavier Worthy, Troy Franklin.
Parker and Worthy.
Bingo. Took the
I'm
words out of my
Parker and
mouth.
Tracy.
All right. What's going on? Week 11 is fine, but I'd like to add a handcuff for CMC. Who do I drop? Vidal, Shakir, Aaron Jones, Quentin Johnston, Shaheed, Stevenson's, Pickens, J-Mo, or Warren?
Stevenson is the guy you draw.
Yeah.
It was between Shaheed and Stevenson.
It's a Shaheed or because here's the thing: Shaheed's pretty much a wide receiver handcuff at this point with JSN. That's all he is.
Who is he adding though?
He's getting
Ryan
Robinson. I don't think it's.
If you're going to be picking up a running back, though, that's where I would lean Stevenson here and keep the wide receiver since you're.
Also, I don't know when Hampton's coming back. If Hampton's coming back soon, you could drop Vidal too. If you're more worried about that, but I think Henderson has proven that he deserves to be the number one back in New England. And, so I don't expect Stevenson to get large. He's going to be like a Tyrone Tracy basically rest of the year. I think in that kind of situation where he'll be out there some, but it's not great.
Chase Brown or Harvey? Full question or full PPR?
Got to go Chase Brown. I don't know
Chase
what
Brown.
we're going to get from Harvey. And Brown's got a great matchup. I think he had 100 yards on 11 carries last time.
Best game of the year.
Yeah.
From Kobe here, Zay or Harvey in the flex?
This one I'll lean Harvey.
Kinda
Is
like
this
Zay
non-PPR?
It doesn't look like we have
If
clarity.
it's non-PPR, I would go Harvey. If it's full point PPR, I'd go Flowers.
Ike?
That's Harvey.
Right. From Brandon here, he's back. Evan Ingram, Hawkinson, or Muth?
Muth. In the matchup against Cincinnati's, they were the best matchup for tight ends, and the last time they
Yeah,
played
they
them,
are.
3 tight ends.
He did
scored
score
touchdowns.
with them last time too. So
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Right. We got to go with Mecca Egbuka or Devonta Smith?
Mecca.
The Mecca. It's a Mecca. That's a tough one, but it's a Mecca.
I would have been saying a Mecca until you guys have told me the Lions have got, real issues in their secondary, and they play a lot of zone, which Devontae Smith feasts on. So I'm going to go Devontae.
All right. DeAndre Swift or Woody Marks here? I think it's Woody Marks. The backfield split with Monangai breaks the tie here for me.
I'll go Woody.
Matchup breaks the tie for me with Woody.
Yeah.
Being against the Tennessee Titans. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons is active today. I did see, though.
Yes. Yeah, he is from Cody, Flexwood, Kyron Williams, Zay Flowers, Rashad White,
Kyron.
Yeah, I can't set Kyron Williams. He's one of those guys that he gets all the, the touches at the goal line.
Full point PPR, ETN, Brown, Swift, Marks. Who should I start? Who should I flex?
So one start, one flex. Okay.
Is it AJ Brown, Chase Brown?
It's probably Chase.
I think they're all running backs.
running
I
back.
think they're just all running backs.
Chase
Brown's my lock.
I'll go
Chase
Brown
Woody?
and Marks.
I'm okay with that.
Man, both off. I still lean ETN. ETN and Brown for me.
Okay. Ferguson is scaring him this week. Do I play Dalton Schultz over him?
I mean, Schultz with what's his face has been Davis Mills has been actually pretty good.
Pencil neck Mills.
Yeah.
I would
I'd
not
probably-
set Ferguson.
I
Still
would
going
still
Ferguson.
go Ferguson. Okay. I already have Bijan, so pretty much locking in Algier, the wide receiver. Okay, so this was from a different question. Who should I go with at tight end? Kelsey, Ferguson, or Theo Johnson? Picked him up last week. See, this goes back to having too many options here.
Yep.
From what Keith alluded
Just
to
roll
earlier.
a Kelsey.
Yeah, it made it even harder on yourself by picking up Theo here, but I would probably lean Kelsey too. Keith, is that where you would go?
I mean, yes, I will say, though, out of the volume of those threes, I think Theo Johnson's going to get the most because Slayton's out. We know Jameson likes to sling it, and he's been good. Like, he's been really good. I hate that Dart got hurt. Like, what a difference this Giant season could have been if Scatterboo stayed healthy. Obviously, just the whole team basically. But
Yeah.
I would start Kelsey, and I would probably drop, again, at least one of those guys, because otherwise you're going to have a difficult decision to make each week. And then you end up beating yourself up when that's the problem with having too many options. Like, because you could make a case for any of these guys and then end up, being pissed at yourself when you didn't, it's not necessary.
Agreed.
I lean Kelsey.
All right. We're starting London over Pickens, right, boys?
Ooh,
we are.
man.
I think we do, but
I think
like
you
London's
have
just
to,
getting
but I would
mad
like to know
volume.
who your other receivers are that you're
I
not
think
starting them
I think
both.
here's the flex question. Do you go Pickens over Swift in the flex?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I would go Pickens over Swift. I would.
Yeah. I think I'm right there with you guys. Mike, you as well, clean sweep.
I'm Swift over Pickens in the flex as well.
Nope.
Wait a minute. You're the opposite of us.
You went the opposite. Yeah. Pay attention, man.
Oh, my bad. Well, I'm over here trying to deal with my lineup issues. I got my own question.
Keith, we got a DFS question here. You didn't bring up Winston in your segment, but how do you feel about him this week at DFS? Just too many other low-priced options?
I mean, again, for cash, no, I'm not playing him. But in, multi-entry, sure. Like, you can stack him with Theo Johnson. Again, I like Wan'Dale Robinson a lot for the Giants this week. He's 5,500. And you
Winston Wan'Dale stack sounds pretty nice now.
I mean, you could actually double stack them for really cheap. I think Johnson's 3,800, Winston's in the 4K range, and then 5,500. So you're talking about like 12, 13K. Have a piece of that. Have Jacobs on the other side. He's 7,800, and that kind of be your game stack that you're rolling with. But I would much rather play Brissett for only a little bit more expensive at 4,900 because, again, he scored 21 points or more in every game he started this year.
All right. From Juan, who for QB1 this week? All on the wire. McCarthy, Brissett, Winston, Geno.
Brissett.
Brissett.
Brissett's a safe one
as well. Yeah.
Winston's the ceiling play.
We already answered this one earlier.
Yep.
Yes, we did.
From Courtney, start 2 of Marks, Wan'Dale, Rashad White, or
first 2
Washington.
That's my answer too.
Same.
First 2, Marks and Wan'Dale.
All right. From Jesse, full PPR, start Troy Franklin or Parker Washington.
I'm going Parker. I'm sure Franklin's going to kill me today since I have not picked him once.
No doubt. And we've been all over Parker, so hopefully he's.
That just means it's a Sutton week.
I hope so.
Maybe.
That would be wonderful.
Sutton's been frustrating. Another one from Courtney, Wan'Dale, Parker Washington, Rashad White, Woody Marks.
Wan'Dale and Marks. Courtney,
Cody?
Wan'Dale and Marks.
Cody, no problem, and good luck to you as well, my friend. Who are we ripping? Wan'Dale or Woody Marks? Full PPR. Have Nico and Packers defense starting already. Good context from Jacob there.
I do Wan'Dale.
I think I would go Wan'Dale too because
Yeah.
I worry that you said Simmons is playing today. What happens if this is a bad Davis Mills experience and they just sell out on stopping the run? I hate when you could potentially have 2 bad players in the same lineup, and with Davis Mills, that is a little intimidating, right? To be like, is he going to be able to do well enough to feed both the number 1 wide receiver and the running back go off? So I would go Wan'Dale. I'd be shocked if he doesn't get at least 8 targets today, at least.
Yeah, I go Wan'Dale as well, just because you have the Nico Collins play it. Additionally, yeah.
DJ Moore, DeMarcado, Tajay Spears have to start 2.
DeMarcado for me, for sure, is a definite start.
Give me Spears and DeMarcado.
You go Spears over DJ. Okay.
Yeah. DJ's still banged up with that groin injury he suffered however many weeks ago. I give me the running backs here. Just save for floors. DJ Moore can give us another goose egg.
Another one from Courtney. Just a couple left, boys. Kelsey or Gadsden?
Gadsden.
Give me Gadsden as well. Another one of these are tough call here. Keith, where to go? Kelsey, Gadsden.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gadsden again. I don't know if you heard the DFS board, but the Jags over their last 6 games have allowed 10 touchdowns to tight ends.
Jesus.
So, it's bad. They've allowed a touchdown in 5 of their last 6 and 6 out of their last 7 to a tight end, at least 1.
And last one, would you go with RJ Harvey or Romeo Dobbs at the flex?
I would go Harvey here.
Harvey, yeah.
I've been saying wait and see, but man, Green Bay's like pass catchers are like trying to figure out who New England's going to start at running back. Or Sean Payton.
That's how I feel about the Broncos pass catchers, Keith.
Well, that's fair. I mean, Sean Payton, we should have known.
But this one is because you have a low end flex play in Dobbs as the other option. Give me Harvey, who is expected to get more work.
Courtney, you're welcome, man. We appreciate the questions. Boys, it was a blast as always. It is. Mike, what do you got?
I got my own for you. So Brian Thomas is out. I got to start either Kareem Hunt, Sean Tucker, or Jerry Jeudy, and I'm leaning Hunt just because of the touchdown upside.
Kareem Hunt for me.
Kareem.
Who was it? Hunt or who?
Hunt, Sean Tucker, Jerry Jeudy.
I want to tell you go Tucker because I think that he's going to have a monster week, but I would start Hunt.
He's the
Being
safer
safe.
play.
All right. Great
All right.
stuff as always,
Thanks,
boys. Mike, we appreciate you filling in this week. Make sure to check out Ike's injury impact article that comes out Mondays, right?
Yes.
Right.
Nailed it.
Make sure to check out all of Keith's work as well. He's
When
got
I'm not
all-
slacking in Vegas and putting out an article. Apologies
It's a
about
perfect
that. The
excuse,
cheat sheet
and I
is
love
there,
that.
though,
Just,
if you want to check that out.
That's what I
DFS
use, Keith, so
there.
you're fine.
Usually has the cash games article as well. The stats you need to know show with
That did
Keith's,
come out Wednesday. We did do that.
and the cash game video with
Joe the
Matz.
Brain Mats.
Make sure to check that out. And then just check myself out here. Michael Plant, he just floats around. You can catch him always.
I do the
You
clip.
catch him. I was just
He's
gonna
flowing.
say he does the shorts and he does the always break it or posting the news in our Discord. So once again, guys, head on over to fantasy6pack.net/plans, become an all access member to check out the Discord and join in on all the fun we got going on over there. But until next week, guys, it was fun. For Ike, for Mike, for Keith, I'm Dylan. We'll talk to you guys next weekend. See ya.
Nailed it.
Good luck.